Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chart Guys, checking in on the electric vehicle sector and that one battery name plug. Wrong charts. There we go. Dookie doke. I don't have anything set up. I thought I had something. Okay. Okay, so Tesla looking for that daily higher low. I believe there was an hourly oversold bounce play, but you had to have our extended hours on for that, and it just kissed it at the bottom of the day there, and then saw some bounce. But for the purpose of these videos, I'm just gonna stick to the regular trading hours. I find that the location of the zones of interest it's a little bit better. Although I will mention that one downside to that is, if there is an hourly oversold bounce play, in extended hours, I do find that the if it were to play out again in regular trading hours, that a little bit of that buying pressure that was pent up has been spent, but by no means doesn't mean that it becomes a bad trade. Excuse me. Like you can see, for example, it happens fewer times, right, that we get oversold, but they're still very valid trades, right? There's a nice bounce from it, nice bounce from it, nice bounce from it, right? All right. So, anyways, let's see here. So potentially setting this hourly lower high here under 639.80, and in order for us to be confident that it's the case, we just want to see a 5-minute trend change. And although this is a 5-minute trend change, it's not really what you want to see as a bear. This break and then straight up and then double bottom like that. That being said, this is end of day action. It's a little bit irregular, right? It can be more of it can be more quirky, so to speak. Anyway, we will be mindful of the potential of follow through, and there is some follow through right now happening in extended hours, but we just be mindful of some follow through tomorrow. If the bears are able to hold this high here of 627 and break to lower lows under 605, then we'll continue to scalp that daily higher low with anything over 566.34 being one. Let me just double check. Yes, anything over 566.34. And so this is drawn down here because sure, there are some potential pivots that we can play off of, but again, this is cooled off a bit, so I don't know if I love this one as much. I'd rather play a bit lower now. And this just takes into consideration as well the 21 EMA. Okay, so the 21 EMA, roughly, it's a fib EMA, whatever, but it's also pretty close to the 20 moving average, which is like it's a very common one for traders. So anyway, this would include that. It would include this shelf of support that was built, established, I should say. Just it's not a lot to go with. It's a very minimal price action, but there have been holds here. So hourly oversold into the 21 EMA, into this previous price action. I don't hate it. Just looking for that daily higher low, or even just to maintain some kind of range, just like over here, right? Contraction, contraction, and then expansion, contraction, expansion. Maybe we'll contract a bit. Who knows? Let's check the. Yeah, bulls would take it if we can just go sideways from here. And I think December 18th is like the last day or something, or that's the official day that they get introduced to the S&P. So maybe a seller news event in the making. All right, so NIO, we're looking out for this potential trade over here, backtesting this channel. This channel has held for a really, really long time. This entire leg up on the weekly time frame, I believe, this channel has held structure, and so we're just being mindful of that. I don't need this at the moment. And so kind of similar to Tesla, we have this bit of a head and shoulders look, but obviously the bulls defended initially, at least, so that's a good look. We have this, you see this rounded top here, a rounded top, and the bulls are defending. However, we are just being mindful that the support line that now potentially resistance is just above, and it's a confluence zone with multiple tops. If we zoom into the hourly time frame, then you can see that a whole bunch of tops got put in here or around here, right? So all this consolidation over here, very similar level, right? And it was a little bit of support here, a little bit of support here, front run there, rejection there. So a bunch of times, very, very pivotal level. I would be surprised if we just broke through it to re-enter this channel, but anything can happen. So right now, I still like this trade for looking for that potential daily lower high in, or daily double top or whatever, just a resistance test, I would imagine you would get an initial rejection, considering how this is just kind of 3 days of straight up from from the low. So bulls are likely getting a bit tired. There's also declining volume, and which is to be expected while we're in this EQ. So all things kind of point towards a little bit more sideways, but who knows? So that's why we always make sure that we scale in during extension, right? So if you want to be really conservative, you start up there. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit, just like right there, right? So you start scaling before that test, and then right under the level, one more fill right above these big levels, and then your stop loss just a little bit above. So hourly trend is still bullish. We had some nice consolidation today, pretty much a nice move up and then just sideways. So ideally what will happen for bulls tomorrow is they'll defend this low of 44.18, break over to higher highs of over 45.26, and then we'll be scouting that daily lower high double top business. So WKHS, I must have removed it, but we were discussing just either these reactive plays or bottom fishing the supports of the EQ. So that's weird. I thought I. Oops. All right. Well, whatever. Oh yeah, that was the one. But the box is gone. That's weird. So we're discussing the potential to make a trade like that, right? Just bottom fishing this EQ support. So let me kill these reactive trades, which I still think are fine. I would be comfortable taking them. So this long box had a scale zone like this, and that was just based on zooming into the hourly time frame and having just knowing that these bottoms were here, right? We just want to bottom fish these bottoms, looking for this EQ to tighten if we have a bullish lean, which if I had to pick a direction, I would pick bullish because we are just sitting on top of this shelf here. And again, the bears try to push down and we're able to do so. So another point for the bulls, they showed up to play defense, right? That EQ bear break was negated. So let's zoom into the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame, bear break, no follow through, straight into a bounce, but looking like we have potentially set this lower high here at 21.54. Just want to check the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, this is a trend change. So that lower high we can say is set, and ideally what the bulls will be looking to do tomorrow is hold a higher low over 20.35. This is a good amount of range to do so, but they are still, on their back foot, right? The bulls have to show up tomorrow, hold this low of 20.35, break to a higher high over 21.54, and that's really still not a lot to go on, right? We'll still be within this EQ, and that'll just be like another counter move. Really, they want to start breaking multiple resistances, and with the key resistance being 23.15 to see some daily bounce follow through, and then we'll be looking for the potential of a short, looking for a lower high under 30.02. Okay, that is not what you want to see, XPEV. So I believe the hourly trend has changed. I'll have to make sure. We didn't quite get up to the short target. We're setting this daily lower high now, very likely at 51.24. Let's check the hourly time frame. Yes, the hourly trend has gone bearish, so we lost this channel support, which made for a lower high median line test, and then broke that channel support and changed the hourly trend at the same time. So very bearish look now. In the short term, bears have the control. Well, I mean, they have kind of full control, honestly, because the weekly. Oh no, I'm sorry. The weekly trend is still bullish. We're printing an inside bar today, so if we can close on an inside bar, bulls would take it. Just play some solid defense on the daily time frame. If we were to able the base down here, the bulls will also take that. Ideally, though, they would have made more space outside of this channel. So this trade is also potentially on the table as well. If a short, I mean. So we can maybe look for a trend line play. There's 3 touches on that trend line. 3 touches on that trend line, so maybe a back test of the channel resistance, just like very similar to NIO, right? Something like that, maybe looking short. And if we get a bear break, then really we would just be looking to play this range again, right? This is marked off by the hourly pivots here, okay? So we're just watching because a top got put in here, a bottom got put in, a couple bottoms there. So we're just watching the shelf of support potentially, and I'm going to replace this with. That is confusing to me. Okay, so something like that, and I just want to adjust these levels a bit. We'll use this lowest close, and maybe we'll use that close over there. Let's see. I'll take it, just for now. Very loose idea. So zone of interest here, and if we get a bear break, then I don't hate something like that. Looking for this, this price action to hold again. So we had this initial hold. Maybe the bulls can play defense a little bit lower, and we get some more volume printed in down here. We will see. Okay, so potential short, potential long. Something for everybody for XPEV. Just realize that if you're going for that long, you're going counter trend on the daily, but the weekly is in your favors. There's something to be considerate of. Okay, plug. Getting into our zone of interest today for that potential hourly higher low. Gave plenty of opportunity to chop as well for profit. So if you are swinging, I would feel fine about that. It was a daily inside bar today after setting a quick higher low. Bulls are maintaining the 8 EMA support. However, we're just being mindful of this these two yellow lines to mark off the, let's see here. These two yellow lines to mark off a potential wedge that we're just keeping our eyes on. And we'll also be mindful that we are near the center of the channel, right? So if this wedge were to break bearish, we'd be probably looking down ahead, at least the standard deviation band. All right. Anyway, anything over 2570 will be a daily higher low. Checking the hourly time frame again. Hourly time frame, we just set another. Well, we had a bearish trend change, and now we have bounced enough that we are making space for a potential another hourly higher low. Well, no, this is technically will be another hourly higher low after the bears took the trend. So oh, we look for that. I mean, ideally, would do another fish, right? So if we can get 5-minute oversold against this median line, that would be ideal. Maybe something like that. Yeah, something like that, perhaps. All right. Okay, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.